Hey folks, my name is Promise. Welcome back to more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. There has been a bit of a resurgence and interest in custom scenarios as of late, and we're going to try to pick up a few of the newer ones that are starting to make the rounds. Today we're going to try out the Scourge Virus, based on Invincible. And this is a topical reference because didn't like the 4th season just end or something? I don't know. I'm outing myself a little bit because I'll tell you guys up front, I have not watched Invincible as a show. I know a fair bit about it, at least the first 1 or 2 seasons. I know who Mark is, Omni-Man, Adam, Eve. I understand who the Viltrumites are and all that backstory. I know a lot of this, but if you're going to go into this expecting me to know all the references, well, I'm probably going to miss a few of them, but maybe you can let me know in the comments section down below what I'm missing. I've heard the show's really good, I've just never put aside the time to work on it. Anyway, this is by Vanish Lark, and it has to do with the Scourge Virus, a catastrophic event in Viltrumite history that took place countless ages ago on the planet Viltrum, unleashed by the Coalition of Planets, blah blah blah, during the Thrag era. Okay, so I already know that that's got a lot to do with Season 4 and so on. Alright, so what changes in the world? Airports added to every country to simulate the Viltrumites' flying ability. Every country is wealthy, right? Because the Viltrumites are supposed to be the apex species and all that stuff with their empire, but they're basically just a race of Supermans. That's all it pretty much is. But bloodier. Anyway, we have a bioweapon. I can count on one hand the number of times I played a bioweapon in the last 2 years. So this is going to be fun. ATP boost, Darwinist, Aquasonic, Streamophile, and Symptostasis seems fine, though I guess I'll swap this out for Aerocyte, since it looks like we're going to have everything on everything. And you know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and play this on Mega Brutal. Not that I normally do this, but let's just give it a go. Viltrum is a terrestrial planet comparable to Earth in size and composition. Its cities feature highly advanced architecture, characterized by a futuristic sci-fi aesthetic that appears centuries, if not millennia, ahead of Earth's current technological capabilities. The Betrayer has unleashed a biological weapon on the Viltrumite population. Your goal is to make sure each and every one of those monsters dies, and it all begins in Saude Viltrum. Or I'll just call it whatever I want to here. Alright, so we got our normal setup here. We've got some air, water, livestock, blah, 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 blah. Symptoms: nausea, coughing, anemia, cysts, a little bit different here. And then for abilities, our typical resistances and drug resistance. Alright, so if the only difference really in this is that, yeah, everything's wealthy and yeah, everyone can fly, that's going to be a little bit disappointing. I hope there's at least going to be some custom events and stuff. You know, I'm picking a topical reference over here. All right? I'm trying to be relevant to modern trends and online media. Okay? I really care about these sorts of things. So if there's no references to placate my audience, who no doubt is already going to be roasting me, I'll be upset. But good news, we got a reference. Emperor Argal's commemoration. Okay, our Supreme Leader Argal has shown his bravery on many occasions. He has always reminded us that all is ours before the Betrayer assassinated him. Dastardly Betrayer. Wait, am I rooting for the Viltrumites or against them? I assume against them based on the context here, but maybe not. Let's go ahead and pick up some coughing. Some pneumonia will be good. I'm going to go for cysts, so that lead to hypersensitivity. It does. All right, that's a poor man's drug resistance. Always good to get a little bit of that going for us. Plus, I really need to get myself some extra severity, because this is gonna get crazy pretty quick. Execution of all non-Viltrumites. Oh, good, a little Xenocide. Yeah, I played Stellaris. This doesn't even faze me. The planet has been locked down. Any non-Viltrumites shall be exterminated to keep the news of the Scourge Virus a secret. No one shall ever know. Question, is the Scourge Virus a thing that goes on or whatever in the 4th season? No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't need to know. I don't need to know the answer. It's perfectly fine. The lethality is starting to tick up. Hey, I just realized this is a bioweapon with no way of resetting the lethality. Wait a minute, please tell me that's going to unlock itself somewhere, because if not, then we're going to have a serious problem. Let's go ahead and go for a little bit of water transmission. That's still useful, even though I should be able to get into pretty much every island just by flying, so that's fine. A little bit more air transmission wouldn't go amiss for us. Maybe some bird transmission or something as well. Little mutation chance. If this is going to be a speed scenario, then we actually are going to rely very heavily on things like our mutation to carry us to victory. So immune suppression doesn't sound like it's going to do me a lot of good. Anemia, maybe. Nausea, sure. Blood vomiting. Blood vomiting, the expulsion of infected material through projectile vomiting, which increases the risk of infection. Yeah, that doesn't sound like the sort of thing I want. I'm trying not to increase the lethality more than I absolutely have to, but I may not have much of a choice. Let's go ahead and pick up things like some livestock, since that does often correlate with places we're going to struggle with. And I kind of need to go for drug resistance level 2. Since every country is considered to be wealthy, it would be very helpful to go ahead and just burn down as much of that wealth resistance as possible. I say wealth resistance as if somehow I'm resistant to wealth, but you all know what I mean. Sometimes the wrong word escapes me, and that just is what it's going to be. I will take a couple levels of cold resistance for sure. We're going to need that. Should be spreading pretty rapidly, but I'm realizing with no necrosis, this could become kind of tricky, couldn't it? Yes, sir, it could. Yes, sir, it could. Let's go ahead and pick up the rodents and the insects. I'm just going to go ahead and just throw my bags in, my bags. See what I just mean? All of my eggs into each individual basket, all right? We're going to just evenly spread it around absolutely everywhere. What are we missing? Looks like we are actually in every country. Thank you, stupid flying alien creatures, you monsters. You've gotten your all stuff screwed. Severe hemorrhaging. How'd this come out of nowhere? No, wait, really though, what? Oh, getting immune suppression mutated must have done this. Okay, so you need that. Good to know. Heavy discharge of blood from the blood vessels. So I'm guessing if I pick up anemia, nope. What about blood vomiting? Nope. I was thinking maybe something new would pop up over here. Inflammation? Nope. All right, so severe hemorrhaging is non-optional, is what I'm hearing. Let's go for a genetic hardening just to slow things down. We're killing very fast, which is concerning. They're not really working on the cure though, which feels like something might be slightly off here. Good God, I've never seen this many like flight profiles all connecting over here. Very fun. All right, well, I mean, I want to make sure that we are going to get enough infectivity in a few places. Let's go for another level of the rodents just to speed up a couple things. I can't do anything about like Russia and stuff. I'm just worried. Well, we got severe hemorrhaging whether I like it or not. I'm worried we're going to kill too fast, but let's see. Power suppression. Viltrumites fall from the sky. Their flying stops working at times. Due to immune suppression, they die on impact. Yeah, high velocity, just crash into the ground, that'll frickin' do it. I'm watching to see what's gonna happen here with Russia. Once I feel like Russia's hitting kind of a critical mass, I feel pretty comfortable, which looks like is happening now. All right, power suppression, no more Superman for you. Kryptonite for everybody. I know that's not what's going on, but that's just kind of, I don't know. What were you thinking? Think, Mark, think. All right, sudden death. The Viltrumites instantly drop dead. Do not buy this if you haven't infected everyone. Get rid of it. I was about to joke about, hey, joke's on you. With mutation chance, I may not have a choice. There it is. All right, no, okay. Whew. Instant death, huh? Okay, there are no healthy people left in the world. This is kind of expensive, but it is getting slightly cheaper as time goes on thanks to all the death and destruction. All right, everyone plop over dead. You know, for instant, like, massive lethality, this is not instantaneous death. This appears to be a prolonged death over the course of about 2 weeks. That's too long! Too long! 0 out of 10 scenario. Horrible. Well, that's that. I kind of wanted more, if I'm honest. A little bit more of the Invincible references would have been nice. We got one pop-up, and then we basically just, like, really made these guys, like, bleed a lot, and then just suddenly they stopped being able to fly, and then they plopped over dead. So, easy scenario. I don't know why make this a bioweapon. I guess from a thematic perspective, it does make sense. Was lethality actually ticking up? Because I'm thinking about it now, like, we started with some lethality. Did we start with some, or was it gradually going up the whole time? I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do the bioweapon, you really want to commit to the whole balancing act of, like, it's ramping up in lethality. How do I balance? I want that lethality, but not too much, and I've got to time things carefully and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the entire appeal of it. But hey, fine. If they disabled all of that and I didn't notice, okay, well, then that would make a little bit of sense. Either way, we got 230 days, 43% progress here, 103,422 points, 3 stars? I think it's a pretty decent scenario. I just want more. That's all there is to it. I want a little bit more, and I want it to be just a little bit harder than that, because I beat that on Mega Brutal without even trying. Otherwise, though, hey, cool. The idea of doing some more things like Invincible and Plague Inc., count me in. I'm all for it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.